Do you want us
Hi
to
guys.
start, or did she want us to start, or are we waiting for Oz?
Yeah, I think let's get started. No.
Yeah, let's go.
So I think Dubs is from the at this moment. Dubs is from the most senior continent. You're playing C4, right? Me and Whoop are on C5. So
Yeah,
why don't you start, Dubs? How was
I can.
C4?
It was good. At least prelim strategy is always a little different, I think, than semis and finals. But I think, gameplay. Obviously, I read like everybody else. People complaining. It's not the worst it's ever been. It's probably not the worst couple. It was okay. Certainly a little bit of lag, a little bit of red Wi-Fi, all the typical things that happen, stuck marches, but it wasn't terrible. I think most people, if it was your first time, my advice to you is go into All Stars and assume those things, and just figure out how you're going to play and how you're going to get points and how you're going to stack on your team. And it is what it is. I mean, I think it was fine. It was playable.
Right. And what do you see? What do you feel was the attack and defense balance between last time and this time?
So at least from my team's perspective, I think it might have been different on the other ones on there. We got out to a kind of an early lead. So, you're a little bit less likely to get attacked because people aren't trying to give you defensive points. Certainly more towards the end, my team was getting hit more. Obviously there was a fight for second place between the second and third place team. So we started to get hit more because our points didn't matter. We were a couple 100,000 ahead. But definitely, as most people expected, defense came into a huge play with Reens. Teams that Reen the best seems to be the ones that won. It's like getting double points. Your attacks are going to get points. Your defenses are going to get points, and you got to balance that. If you have a team that's not asking for Reens and is not fast enough to get there, or you have people that are super squishy and just trying to get their points with not asking for Reens, it's a different animal. But I think it was, at least for my team, it was very balanced between attack and defense points, at least from what I could tell from setting.
Okay, fantastic. How was your experience? You guys had you guys had a great match. I saw the scores. How was your experience, bro?
It was wild. This was some of the worst lag I've ever played with. Usually, All Stars is laggy in the first half, and it's better in the second half. This time, it was worse in the second half than the first half for me, in terms of trying to get people to settle in the red Wi-Fi. Every time I healed, it was a complete reset of the game. I started setting rallies. Usually it's like rally up 3, 2, 1. I was doing archers up 10, 9, 8. Like I was doing them from 10 because that's how long it would take for the game to reset.
Yeah.
But it was an entertaining match. The final score did not reflect the gameplay in our match. With about 45 minutes left, we were up by 600,000 points. And so we stopped playing to save heals, and Stallion put on 580,000 points in like 20 minutes and really made the score close at the end. It was causing us to freak out, actually. So it was this match was very offense heavy. We weren't scoring a lot from defenses at all. We were just rallying like crazy.
Right.
The Reens, it seemed like 30 million and less Reens we just cut through like butter, but we hit a lot of keeps that had like 70 or 80 million Reens, and that was just hitting a wall. So there's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
How was
so
yours?
I also played C5. My experience was a little different. Whenever we were hitting like anything above 20 million reens, even with like a 195, 98, 100 million rally, or just hitting a wall. Like nothing above 20 was working. To be honest, so first of all, I would like to congratulate C5 as a continent. It has like matured much faster than what C2 did in my time, or C3 did in my time, or even like I don't know. I never played C4, so I have no comments. Maybe Dubs can comment on it. But as a continent, it's matured much faster at a much faster pace than what we did. So it was an amazing experience playing C5. I had some like great players. I don't want to name like I mean I'll name a few, but like the whole team was great. But like I think I played with Mamba, I played with Neko, Preacher, Blinkong, I don't know how to pronounce Hujbo. All of them were like absolutely amazing. And communication wise, it was like I think C5 matches every other continent now. Like people were calling in when they were in the rallies. So we actually didn't send much solos. Like people did a great job calling. People did a great job switching between hives. So yeah, I think the as a continent, C5 has matured and like it's an amazing continent now. Uh, Lag wise, I would like just say what Wook said that we started off pretty good actually, and then it went like really bad. But I think another reason was because people were reading so heavy. That's why it was taking much more time to calculate, and that's why the lag was getting worse. So that's what I think. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about the semis? Like, what should someone prepare at this point? If because this time the dynamics have changed, you can get the 50 coins for the for Laden, like like that thing which you need 150 of to get the Elder Dragon. So people will try to go for top 50. So probably no one will push for semis. Like as Whoop said, people will just save heals. So what do you guys think about that?
I think the same. I think scores in general will be lower. Um, I mean, I'm going in. I'm not. Other than the dragon, I don't plan on healing in semis. Um, it's a little bit easier when you're a big keep. You can get through pretty easily. Try and get to finals. I think you'll see. I think you'll see better reigns in semis just because the bigger, more mature players all push through. I looked at teams. You're seeing teams with multiple 45s on a team versus prelims. I didn't see any. I don't think there were any. It was you got a 45 and a bunch of 44s, and teams were good. But I mean, I think in general, the people that were the first timers that didn't get through, those people are off teams, and you just have people that have played more commonly together on teams. So you're going to have 4 or 5, 6, 8 keeps with a lot of experience. So reigns are going to be faster and better. So
Yeah, I think semis, at least in the B matchup, is going to be less offense. I think is going to occur in this matchup, only because the players have distilled down the troop or the like keep power average is significantly higher in semis than it was in the preliminary match. So, in prelims, there's a lot of potential 1 and 2 taps, like Archer Cav or just Cav. And you're blasting out 16 B keeps in 1 tap. That's not probably a thing in semis now. And so you're going to have to play more strategic because you're going to be hitting 30 billion keeps. And a lot of those keeps are going to. There's 2 kinds of 30 billion keeps: the ones with good buffs and the ones that are pinatas. And so you just hope that you're not on a team with the pinatas. And so I think defense is going to be more important in the semis than it was in the prelims. But yeah, you're going to have to be more strategic to move on.
Yeah, I noticed yesterday a lot of teams were staying off of like the carts going to the, mines or whatever, and it was more just offense, offense, offense as much as you could. Where next round's gonna have to be more. You've already got your dragon egg now, so you're just gonna be playing for getting to the finals.
yeah, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if any of, at least in our round, I don't know if any of the mines worked yesterday.
We
2 of the
didn't either.
times
It did for us.
we,
It did for us.
Hmm.
I think we got 3/4 of them, and I tried to click for 25 minutes, tried to click on it, and it would never accept. So I don't know that
So,
we ever got any of them.
did
We
anyone?
got one actually. Team Heal.
I didn't see any team meals. They were all other stuff.
Yeah, we got one team heal. I think Neko can confirm. Neko, who's listening, can confirm. I think Mamba got a team heal for us.
Nice.
So
I was going to ask, did anyone have issues with arch rallies? We had an issue yesterday on C6, at least for our team, where all the other rallies showed up in chat, but our arch rallies, you had to actually go into the war screen to join it.
But nobody told me that, so I mean, I didn't hear it yesterday. But
No, I didn't see that either.
Yeah, it seemed to be an issue with that new auto joining boss feature they added in. So I was using that to actually join my arch rallies.
Yeah.
the one, and maybe this is a C4 thing, and maybe you guys saw it, maybe you didn't. The one thing I noticed yesterday is, typically when you're playing regular BOC, my team's not massive by any means. We're maybe a 340 sign up power, something like that. But we do face big teams, and in typical BOC, we don't really hit 44s. We try and avoid it. But yesterday there was a lot of soft 44s on the field, and I don't know if that's a function of people are out of scrolls and they have MA5, MA6 done, but they had the RSS to go to 44. But the 44s I saw yesterday were a lot softer than I thought they would be. And I get it, the rallies are bigger, all those things, but I'm looking at what we hit and what we took.
yeah, I will just go back to what Hope said. I think, at least from what I see, because I asked them to fill up the buffs, the attacking buffs are also very, very different from prelims to semis. I think this is almost like a 700 or 800% difference, Whoop. So I think even the attacks are gonna be I think in prelims we couldn't really do much to a 35B, but I think in semis to that same 35B we would probably be taking out 8 or 9 billion without any reins. So
Right.
what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. Also, I feel like this is the first All Stars I've played where Cav and Ground punched psycho hard for you're probably more used to this, but we were one tapping 17B with Cavs, 12B with Ground. This is the first All Stars that for me that's been possible. So definitely you can tell the just depth of buffs and the addition of T15s and stuff like that have made kind of those power thresholds step up quite a bit more. Where it used to be, it's like, oh, there's a 16B, we're going to Archer and then Cav and then maybe ground clear them. Now we're just Cav clearing them.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. But I do think without Reens, big and small siege are going to hurt anybody. I mean, there's, especially when you're in 80, 90, 100 million rallies, that's going to sting no matter what. So you're going to have to reinforce, or even your really strong players are going to start getting ripped up a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. So, would you what do you guys think? Is pre-reining a good strategy for semis?
I don't know. Listen, I'm I love pre-reining, but my fear is people get lazy and so often it doesn't work. I can't tell you how many times you get comfort in hey, we have 6 people in there and they hit and the reins don't show up in the report and it keeps gone. So, and the problem is you can't pre-rein everybody equally. So unless it's somebody I know is going to get hit a whole bunch, I don't see me telling people to pre-rein. I would just rather active rein, and especially we know there's going to be a little lag. So 10-second, releasing in 10 seconds is probably not going to be a thing. You have a little more time.
Got it. Interesting. And what would you say?
So I go the other way. I actually think pre-reins is probably a better idea here. And I'm not talking about heavy pre-reins, like 30 million pre-reins in each keep, but like maybe a buddy system, like you pre-rein me, I'll pre-rein you, just to have better eyes on, the red flash and incoming rallies. I think you want some minor pre-rein only because the reinforcing live rein marches lag just like the rally setting lags. And so if the setters are super fast, they'll beat your rein before they settle. And so at least pre-rein helps offset that a little bit. Like you'll have something there instead of nothing. Because if you've got nothing there, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and
And
even one opposite march makes a hell lot of difference between the reports.
yeah,
Like
and
I
I
agree with
think
you
this is
completely.
I
I
think
don't
this
know.
is going to be a siege heavy match, and just even a little bit of Reen makes a world of difference in a siege attack report.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
well, and the other thing too is if you're planning on being like a heavy rally joiner and like very active, odds are you're not going to be able to port away from an attack. And so if you are just going to have to take it, and you can score really well defensively in All Stars. So if you plan on just taking it, you may as well have one march in there. Like something.
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
I
that
I
think
just
that's
don't
one
know.
march.
that's a personal preference.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't
I
know if
think one march.
one march is going to matter if they're sending 9,500 million. I don't know if it's going to matter.
It still makes a difference, Dubs. Like I mean, very interesting because I- I'm not sure you guys saw what we did in SVS. So like like we got a lot of commands like it was 15 versus 1. But I actually when I was going through the reports, like all those like K40s and K30, 38s and K37s reigning Neo actually changed the complete dynamics of the rally. Like wherever he was not reigned completely, we were actually going positive on the rallies. Like the K40, K38, all those layers, like as Whoop said, it's a C heavy match. So even one layer makes a difference. I would agree with that. The only problem, Whoop, I would say, is like, in C2, uh, like in older continents, people prefer porting because if you have one march out, that's one more march to call back.
Yeah.
Uh, so you prefer not to take the rally at all. That's what's different in older continents because people are more like in by the semis people are more confident of being able to port out even if they have two marches out, so that's just different between two continents.
I was gonna say it might be a team thing where people are gonna have to look at their team, you know, who you're playing versus what you've got, and then decide. You know, it might be a mix of it. Like we're gonna pre-rain these 5 keeps because they're most likely to get hit first, and then reactive rain the rest. You know, it's probably gonna be a mix for some teams.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with the mix. Like whether or not you want to stay in the tight in the hive or play loose because you don't want to get targeted and you want to jump. Um, all that factors in. Like you wouldn't pre-rein somebody playing loose hive, right? Like that player is not in the pre-rein the calculus at all. But if you're like one of the keeps around the setter that's not going to port for any reason in this match, like you're just going to always take it, you may as well accept one pre-rein march, right? Like if you're never going to port. Uh,
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I totally agree with that. Like the
so
big
it's
keeps who
it's
are
about
going to port. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
No, it's just about knowing your keep, knowing what kind of player you are, and whether you can take it or not, and communicating that with your team in Discord before the match, so that people can make like here pre-arena assignments or whatever properly. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. That's all I ever ask is just be, realistic about your keep. Like we all know our keeps. We should at least know what we can take and can't take. So
My gut is, and things change obviously a lot. Historically, in All Stars, a pre-read plan generally has not gone very well. You don't know everybody on the team. You might know the top 2, 3, 4 keeps, and if there's somebody that happens to be on your regular team or you played with, the reliability of a pre-read plan in All Stars generally has not been great. So, everybody wants to get through, and it's a little different once you're out of prelims. I would never do it in prelims. I think you got a lot of people just, hey, I need to get through to get a dragon, and a lot of people that are closer to first timers or second timers don't understand why defense and filling in the second hour if they can't heal is important. So it's hard. But listen, if I thought pre-reads were going to work consistently, I'd use them all the time. I just get nervous that they don't work. I would tell you 50% of regular BOCs, forget the lag. 50% of BOCs I'm seeing pre-reads not work. 50% of the time.
Yeah, we had an interesting thing with Rain yesterday where we would set a rally, and because it was getting stuck, even after we sent the rally, they would send rain, and the rain would still get in before our rally would finally hit. Like, it would be sitting there for 30 seconds, and all the rain would get in, and we would end up smacking the keep, and it had 40 million rain in it.
I mean, if my gut from a go forward strategy, I know we can talk about it a little bit, is I think one thing that is going to be helpful for setters, and I won't go into every piece of strategy, so feel free, but I think setting, instead of the traditional setting a cycle on a keep, you're probably going to be setting on multiple keeps. So reactive rain is hard because we know rains is going to be a big deal, and try and get them, hey, which ones they're going to send first and where are we going to go? And then teams that are not as good at reading will suffer because they're not going to be able to read 3 keeps at a time quick enough.
Yeah, that was my thought, getting the loose hive keeps. That's harder to rain, and trying to catch them.
Yeah. Or setting fakes or whatever you're going to do.
Right. Set a fake on the hive and then try and catch those loose hived.
I don't know how much time you guys spend in obviously it's the easiest in prelims, but All Stars in general, I think for the setter and maybe one other keep helping the setter, I think points management and what team you're hitting that's the easiest way to win prelims, right? Get a tiny bit of a lead and then managing who you're hitting so you keep people farther behind you and never hit the team directly in front of you or the track directly behind you unless there's a big gap. Just managing which team you're hitting.
Yeah, we had a nice...
Yeah, just expanding on that point, like we actually, like, in our group, people were worried about Stam's team, so we just didn't hit him. Like, we hit him a little bit by mistake, but like for the first 30-45 minutes, we just didn't hit Stallion at all.
Yeah,
so
same.
And yeah, that's pretty much true. So, but like, I think this time is gonna be very different to the semis, because I just don't think people will heal in the semis who like, people are gonna watch the scores, and as soon as they show that they're qualifying, even from a fourth team, people are gonna stop healing, because I mean anyone who's running short on heals, because K45 is like 250 days roughly, give or take. So people will just save the speeds and they will want to heal in the finals. Like, finals, I think this time is going to be an absolute bloodbath. So I think people would rather prefer to heal in the finals. And again, I think in the finals this time, people would like to actually tight hive so that they get hit. Because, like in other finals where you actually in a loose hive and you don't get hit, you cannot get top 50. So this time people won't mind getting set on in finals. And I think, like, we will see a lot less people voting.
See, I was kind of thinking about what Whoop said about, people trying to save, but then if you're one of those last place teams, you're going to be trying to hit a lot more. So we might see scores get ran up because of that. But I think the scores will be a lot tighter because of, okay, we're sitting in a good spot, we can kind of hold off.
Yeah, I mean, if they, obviously there's a lot of healing in prelims. That's if they have heals left. I mean, there was keeps I saw full heal 5 and 6 times in prelims. We just kept hitting them over and over. Once you hit them twice, you know exactly what to send. A 2-tap a 20 billion keep, and they've healed 5 times. It's just a points bucket, and you just keep hitting it. But I mean, maybe those keeps have heals left. I mean, that sounds like a lot of heals to me, but I don't know.
I got the impression that there's a lot of people, I mean, not a lot, but a good percentage of people that have made semis here that have fully run out of heal speeds. Like they put everything on the line to get that dragon. And so I don't think you're going to see as much healing because a lot of these matches were boring. A lot of healing was happening to get here. So at least in C5,
I don't know if you.
pretty big numbers.
I don't know if you guys remember from last one. If anybody remembers kind of what average scores were, but the scores to me, it looked pretty common that we're like 2.5 to 3 range were winning scores on most continents, most teams. I think more typically, if you go back in time, those numbers started with a 1, not with a 2.
It looked like C5 was up from last season.
Yeah, C5 was definitely up.
And C6 felt high. Like, for their second or third All-Star season. But of course, I mean, to Viper's point about how he said how far C5 has come along, that, to me, honestly, I don't know how Woo feels, but it feels like it's because of you guys. Like, us watching all the C1 through C4, how did they do it? How, we were really curious in the beginning, and for C5, we were like, teach us, like, what did you do here? What did you do here? And now our continent has just grown into this, massive, we want to play on that top level. And I'm seeing that in C6 whenever I was playing that yesterday. I was like, whoa.
You changed continents to not get zeroed by me? What the
What's that?
You changed continents to not get zeroed by me? So you could have just played C5, bro.
I wanted to. I told you I was going to, but then we had a bad third round and we had to catch up to get our guy his red wings.
Yeah, you probably set up the match to not get zeroed by me.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
what I did.
bitch.
Yep, I was like, I'm not playing against Viper. I'm gonna go to a different continent too to get away from him.
Yeah, so Whoop, I had some question, right? Like, as a continent, I think C5 matured much faster. What do you think contributed the most to it?
Watching GK videos has really helped me develop my game.
Bullshit.
I can't even do that. No, I don't know what's like. There's not a lot of concentration in power, so it's very competitive, and I think that competition is keeping people engaged and wanting to like get better and grow, and like the C5 discords are like there's just a lot of access to information that I think we have that older servers probably didn't have at this stage in development too. So yeah, I mean, it's all of that. I think it's just a lot of good competitive spirit in the servers out here.
Okay. Sounds good.
Did you guys do a lot of T11?
Lisa, do you want to add?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
No, go ahead. I was just. Did you guys use a lot of T11 yesterday? More than you thought, less than you thought? No.
On C6, way less than I thought we would.
So I say T11 is an absolute no in all stuff because, I mean, you're trying to hit the biggest guy who you should not hit anyway. Like under these circumstances, and then like one or two siege rings and destroys T11. So I would probably say like in semis, just even I would just take off the T11 march.
Yeah.
Like
I
me
thought,
personally, I would just don't make T11.
I think I agree. I used it sparingly as a test march on K44s, so we didn't get pummeled and sending a big siege and getting torched. So I would send it really only on 44s is the only thing I did it on, and it performed really well. Mostly, obviously some of those 44s were soft. I still didn't use it a lot, but I only used it as a test march, frankly, to see what was going to happen on some of the 44s. But past that, we didn't use it either. Maybe single digit number of times, maybe 10.
So
Yeah.
I like using T11 as like the first rally I'll set as a fake. Like I'll pick one of the keeps like their setter or something. To like draw in like especially if I want to send big siege, I'll set small on somebody that I know will call for reens, hoping that the big siege reens go there, and then send big siege on somebody. But I don't have a lot of success with just sending T11 into a reinforced keep. I don't think anybody does. But in a lot of ways, so Viper, you would know the most on this. So part of the problem I have with siege marches in C5 is the power levels aren't high enough. So what ends up happening is like I'll set a T13, but people will send T11s into it, and then that mixture seems to work very poorly. And so this is more of a Shalon's thing, but if you don't have enough to consistently send big siege, like pure big siege, does it make sense to just scrap T11 out of the arsenal altogether for your team if it's going to end up mixed anyway?
In that case, you should probably go T11, but I mean, the mixture doesn't work. You're right. And like, but there are some times when like some of the keeps are like out of like siege anyway. But in those cases, we know we'll splat, but we want like there's like one keep left on the opposing team, so we are okay with splatting to kill his siege so that we can get through to like killing his calves. So you have to be okay. Like if you're doing that, you have to be okay with splatting and. I'm sure, like, you guys are also sometimes okay with splatting because you want to kill every keep.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, if you're mixing things, of course the results will be poorer, and you gotta be okay with splatting. But if they're sending T11, if they're sending T10, it doesn't matter. But if they're sending T11, then you're better off doing just a T11 rally where everyone has a uniform troop type.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, but in C5, like yesterday, like if I was actually seeing my rallies, I was more focusing on range calves and ground, and that is because like I was trying to think of like 3 years back C2 around the same sizes, and like prelims was like range calves and ground, and then you go to like semis, which is like mostly range and then a little siege, and then finals is like all siege. So till semis, I think range and cav was super important, and we actually didn't have any cav hits that big, like a one tap 17B on cavs we didn't have, but I was apprehensive on setting cavs on very big targets. But you guys had it already, so you know like how efficient it was in prelims.
We didn't set we didn't set a lot of ground. I mean, we did some, but not a lot. Surprisingly low number of ground, and some of that is just we did more cav and a lot of range and a lot of siege. I don't know if we did 15 rounds the whole round.
Yeah, for our team, it was a lot of like we would do some small siege, but it was all 4 rallies just on 4 different keeps. I mean, uh, what's his name, Relax, and Chad is saying about how you can place pretty much everything up on one of each on 4 different keeps and hit them and then set again, and you're usually zeroing on them. I did
Yeah.
notice that yesterday. So Viper, I have a question. How low in power did they get you?
Oh, I was 4.2B, bro. Like they were soloing me
Oh
at the
wow.
end.
Okay. I haven't watched your video yet, so I was curious.
Yeah. Yeah, they were soloing me at the end. Like they really wanted to zero me. I haven't been zeroed for like 3 All-Stars, I think. Whoop, did you get zeroed?
Yeah, like 3 times.
Did
Okay.
you?
I get zeroed all the time. I'm not that good.
Okay, Whoop, I have an important question, right? PPK at this moment fills 100 million plus. There are only a few alliances in the game which can do that. Uh, why do you guys why do you guys not build power? Because I think once you build power, you'll be like the top 4 or 5. What's like uh, what is stopping you from building power?
We don't want to fight WDF.
But it because at this level, like at this power level, you will just not have a match which is interesting enough for you. You won't have any competition at this power levels anymore.
Well,
I
I don't know.
mean,
Challenge was pretty entertaining. It was competitive.
I mean, what do you
Yeah.
on WDF? If you can fill that, what's your average keep size? Because I don't know. I mean, are you all teens? I mean,
10.
WDF 10. Okay, yeah, you run out of troops. I mean, WDF. Like, listen, they're a great team. Obviously, it's the best C4 team, but they're not like buff heavy. Take Tibbs's keep out of it. I mean, they're not like there's not a bunch of VIP 24s in there, let alone 25s. So it is not a buff stacked. They have massive lateral power, and everybody's 20 bill.
Give me 6 years. We'll build up all this power. It's going to be awesome.
You
We're all
bring
gonna
in
be
you bring in a couple of keeps for challenge too, don't you guys? Whoop?
What? Say what?
You guys bring in a couple of keeps from outside
Yeah.
the alliance.
Yeah.
So do you guys have anyone at 300 V around? Which, like, what power is PPK now?
I have no idea. I'd have to look it up.
But do you guys have interest
280
in
or
VOCs?
something like
Can
that?
anyone keep up with you guys?
Yeah. I thought the finals was pretty competitive. Semis was pretty good too.
No, not Chalons, like in normal
Oh.
battlefields.
regular.
Oh, in normal battlefields? No, but we play slot 3. So, we usually get kind of weird teams in slot 3.
Right.
Do you even play anybody from your own continent? Probably not, huh? Not at
No,
280.
never.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah.
It's usually like C1
same.
teams that we play.
Same.
Yeah, we're only a 238 alliance. So we're not signing up a ton of power.
Yeah, you're probably signing up like 180 or something, I suppose. 190.
Yeah.
So you guys have 2K45s, right?
Yeah.
So I think once you're K45, you probably so that will start. So you always prioritize buildings over troops, right? In PPK.
Always. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what I think Dubs and me will agree. Like we also did the same in RSP and VIG. Always prioritized troops over buildings. But now our problem is that people run out of big siege very fast. Like Dubs, are you facing the same problem? Like we run out of big siege very fast, so we tell people that we just stop at K44, build troops for big siege, max out K44, and then go to K45 because
my generic answer is only build to what you have scrolls for. If you don't have the scrolls, don't waste your time. Then go to troops.
Yeah, agree with that.
If you can get MA7, then go 42. Great. And then build 13. And generically, I say build 13 siege. That's what I'd say all day long. 13, 13, 13. And the reason is save your gold for tech and save your gold for when you need to do 15s and 16s and whatever. I'm not saying we don't want 14, 15, 16s, but you can never have too many T13 siege. There's no number that's too many.
Yeah, the way
Agree with
we kind of talk about it is like if you have a bunch of tactic scrolls, you got 100,000 tactic scrolls, and you finished MA up to the point where you're at. Raise the keep level, raise the military academy rally spot, and then pursue the tech. If you've got like 500 scrolls to your name, then it's time to make sure you've unlocked all the T15s. If you've done that, go ahead and build troops or move on, like try to get to 44. But like 42, I think, is a pretty good spot to stop and build troops out a little bit before you move on. But if you don't have scrolls, and so it's just kind of like that. If you have a bunch of scrolls, push the tech. If you don't, unlock 15s or build troops or go for the next keep level. And just kind of rotate between the two.
You agreed 100%.
So I recorded.
It's just slow. It's slow.
I recorded their challenge match for their semis. That was very interesting and eye-opening watching that, and seeing them play 1, 2, 3. And me and Whoop actually talked about it. If Dab would have been able to play, what would have happened and what would have changed in that match. It was very well played between the three teams that were there, and even Dab's team, they did their best.
Was that the one where you're like, Whoop's at 18B, he's almost zeroed, and I'm like, that's my full power, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I just was saying,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 noticed your power at that point. Possibly
It made me laugh.
And throw you guys off a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear you guys say prioritize 15s over buildings. I don't know. I'd rather have 50% more 14s and 13s than not even have 15s open. It depends on the RSS. It depends a little bit on the farm availability on the server and what the problem. You just burn so. And I look at it like this: if you got a bunch of keeps on your team that are like, let's just say they're like, and maybe it's different in C4 and who we match against, but if they're like 12 to 16, 17 billion in that range, I would rather have them get fatter and not mess with 15s at all, because they're not going to be able to build enough to help. That's why I get frustrated. And we face big teams. We have enough sign up power, and the slot we play, we play Viper, we played RSP, we play HOT all the time, we play GOT, we play NFG, we face everybody. And we're way smaller, right? Our signups maybe like 350-ish, give or take a little bit. So we're probably the second biggest team in the slot. So we're facing 600, 700 billion teams. And just having 2 million 15s doesn't do any good.
Just so everybody knows, what alliance are you from?
876 Raw.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like our kind of like buy-in, like the team kind of like buy-in is it's a slow build. Like we're in it for the long game. So, we know it's going to take a while. It takes a long time to unlock 15s in the buildings and then blow out troops. Like it, so we know that going in. We find that as long as we're sufficiently killing monsters, I'll say that, that it gives us enough speeds, and we're able to offset our lack of troops with the ability to heal.
Okay.
Right?
That's interesting.
So,
yeah. Yep.
One of the problems is when you're like a 30B keep, you can't heal that. Like full healing these T16s are freaking crazy to heal. Like they're awful. Well, but
if you could avoid it, you don't heal them because they perform like shit. They don't do a goddamn thing at all.
Right.
They're garbage.
But there are ways to offset, like some, not maybe in SVS, but in battlefields, there are ways you can offset not having a ton of troops. I mean, you can heal them, you can heal bullets, and just keep going. It's slower, but it works, and
Sure.
we use that to like bridge the gap until we get bigger.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys looked at people with 16. I mean, my 16s. I went back. I didn't look at every single report, but I looked at a lot. My 16s did absolutely nothing. Like most.
I don't care. The horses and ground I like. Siege and archers I find underwhelming.
Yeah. And I didn't send it to grounds work on solos, but if it's a clear, I don't even think the 16s are activating.
So interesting point here. Just to talk about, because we're talking about the effectiveness of siege. So me and Nox tried it out during SBF. I hit him once with like the normal siege march I have, which is like 50% T13, 25% T14, and then like T15 and T16. And then I hit him with equal levels of T13, T14, T15, and T16, right? The power exchange was roughly equal, like 1 to 1.5B and 1.4 to 1.2B, something like that. Like the difference in power was equal, but in terms of SBS core, the one with T16 scored like, I think like 200 or 3 million extra positive. So if you're, just try this out. If you're solo sieging in SBS, just do it with equal layers. Put T16 in there. It's gonna help. Like it's gonna help the SBS points, not the. I'm not sure you saw the report or not, Dubs, but I don't think you follow the our group, right? Like
I'm
our
in there, but
internal.
I'm like the worst Discord follower ever. I like don't read a lot of it. I'm terrible at it. I'm in all of them, but I don't. Yeah, I'm terrible.
Yeah, so it was there in our internal group. So just try it out, Whoop. If you're doing a siege solo in SVS, just try with equal. Like, of course, it has to be like a 12 or 13B, so that like they have enough siege for you to be extra. But you will get like in SVS terms of SVS points, you will get like a lot more positive.
Got it. Good tip.
So do you think as more people get T16s, T16 will become more viable?
You would think, right?
T16 will anyway be like amazing in defense. So definitely, like, I mean, if you can get T16, get T16. Like, offensively, I agree with what Dubs and Whoop said, that they're not that good, but defensively, they're amazing, bro. Like,
Yeah.
So basically, T16 would be about 600% or 700% extra buff. So imagine that trying to kill that horse, which is like adding another 700% HP to a T15. So
Okay.
Or looking at continents that have lots of 45s. I'm interested to see finals on teams that a team that gets, I'll use a round number. Let's say they have 4 45s on a team, which could happen. I was trying to do the math to try and figure it out. A team that gets 4 K 45s with all 16s and say north of 4,400 range buffs, what that's going to do. I think you're going to see some keeps melt. I don't care what size they are. Like melt. Like maybe 30 bill range, one taps maybe.
all right, maybe we can have some questions if anyone has questions. Or I think if you guys have anything to add to this, I think we have covered like a wide array of topics already. Otherwise,
So there was a question yesterday about rains. It's been a lot of talk about rain since a video has been released on YouTube. And now I can't remember the exact question, but it was how the troops work. Like a lot of people are getting confused on. So if I'm attacking a building with a attacking gen, what buffs apply versus once I become the rain, what buffs then apply?
This is that Red Ebony video, right? The Aka video.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's opened up a lot more questions on rain.
I don't know the answer, but I know what I think people thought and what's really happening are two different things.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think too. What are your thoughts?
I don't have enough time to.
You fight with your own offensive stats and fight with reports to buffs.
Sorry, I didn't watch that video. I was coining at while that time, so I have been busy coining. I haven't really watched any videos lately, so
I have
I
not.
I mean, I
genuinely like.
felt.
Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, I felt like a lot of the conclusions in the video were self-explanatory. I thought the two unusual ones was that marching doesn't apply to reinforcing, and then the Freya Idun kind of poo-pooing, in which I completely disagree with their conclusions, even with their test data. I think that those are very good reinforcing generals. They just don't get the building bonuses when they're not in buildings. But that would be I would be going on like a 30-minute diatribe about all my nitpicks on that video.
Are you a fan of dedicated reinforcing generals?
So what I would do is my two main reinforcing marches are Freya and Frigg, and then Idun and Godfrey. And so between the main being the building reinforcer and the assistant being the in-city, or like it works. Like those work, but the best part of Freya and Idun is their 2-star attribute, which is the death to survival when reinforcing in buildings. And if you've only got a limited number of presets, I would not put a skill like that on the bench, because like some other general has 20% better HP. That's stupid. Like trying to find the perfect general and spiking out of very, very good non-buff attribute qualities to get 20% of any stat is stupid. And so, like his conclusions might be like Frey and Idun aren't perfect, but my conclusion is no, they're not perfect, but they are amazing, and I will definitely be using them because I only have a limited number of presets. I'm not gonna like spin them up on the fly. Like you have to put gear on them and dragons and stuff. So that's why I disagree. Like that video can be correct, but it has the wrong conclusion, and that's why.
Well, correct and practical are two different things. That's my problem. Like I don't use dedicated reinforcing for the 8 presets. There's no way I'm changing generals on the fly, not as a setter. It's not possible. Maybe it's because I'm old and I'm not fast enough. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I tend to make up the gap in my knowledge and skills by coining more. So I don't have any opinion about this.
Same.
I do use reinforcing gens, but it's only for guys that I know are going to get soloed right off the bat. So I'll pre-rain them with my rain gens.
So you basically reinforce yourself?
Yeah, But I do use reactive rain. I'll just use whatever I got for
that's what I do too.
Actual raining.
I think the one that I heard it a few times, and like when you guys know what it's like when you enter the prelim chat on the first day, all the first timers want to, they want to start planning a week out. Like, what are we going to do? What's our plan? What's the map? All those things, right? And there's a lot of, and maybe they come from smaller teams and it was their first time, but there's a lot of misnomers about chasing buffs. How big a day? This is 20% better. I'm going to change my general to that. And they're asking me, should I change? And the part that people don't understand is 20% buff in Ebony is like 0.003% of the total buff. Well, not going to matter. Don't change now.
You have a week, and it's like, what are you going to do in a week to change your keep? that's going to be so drastic to make you any better by the time Saturday rolls around.
What I generically told everybody, set what who's ever set in your alliance to run Serbs for 7 days. That's it. Just
Mm-hmm.
run Serbs all day, every day. Serbs for the rest of this week. Give yourself an extra 30,000 days to heal and call it good. Don't worry about all the other stuff.
Yep.
You know, make sure you have the right presets, right? You got to have all the normal presets, but past that, you don't try and change your keep in that week. You know, the only thing I gave advice on is there's a lot of people with bad wall books, have the wrong books on their wall. That was the only advice I really gave.
Yep. Do you guys still see like C4 down? Do you guys see people come in and say, "This is what my team does"? Or are you guys past that?
What do you mean?
Someone comes in and says, "Well, my team, we do this," and it's like,
Oh yeah.
"Well,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
good for
Yeah,
your
yeah, for
team,
sure.
but this is all
Yeah.
stars."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, a little bit less. Like obviously, I have a C1 keep as well. You don't hear it there really, but
Mm-hmm.
C1. No offense if anyone's from C1, I get to say it because I play there. That's a different animal. It's more about politics and who's cheating and who's trading points. My opinion, and my team will kill me. Like all stars and Shalons and C1 is not near as fun. I don't like it. It's just cheating. So every time you can't show me a C1 all stars or Shalons that we can't find cheating in for whatever reason. Like it's a C1 thing. It is what it is, and I know you're all going to hate on me, and that's okay. But it's just a different animal. But C4, you still hear it. Like, hey, we do this. I run this. Here's my secret sauce, and I'm like, man, I've seen 50 people prove that doesn't work. Whatever it is, whatever that is, you know.
Yeah.
You know, putting 100,000 siege layers in your ground march or whatever. Creating, I'm just making that up. No one actually said that, but silly shit like that people think works, and I'm like, why do you think that? It's funny though. It's entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wasn't watching.
For the I do the range ends Freya. We actually, when they first came out, Just See, she actually asked customer service about it. They said the wording was incorrect, and they did plan on fixing those gens.
Oh, you're okay.
So I'm not sure
Yeah.
if anything's been done with that.
Oh,
But yeah.
Okay, so Rex Smash has a question. How far
no,
do
no
you
problem.
think C5 is from the bulk of the battlefield attacks and defenses being generated from buildings?
What do you think C5 is from the bulk of battlefield attack?
Oh, I think we're getting close.
To fighting in the buildings primarily?
Mm-hmm.
No,
No.
not yet. No, couple more seasons. It's not there yet.
I mean, maybe you guys understand the question. They think like in All Stars, it's going to be all a fight about the buildings. Is that the question? Is that what you're asking? Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm answering it right. I don't know that I think any continent does that. Oh, portal fights. Long ways.
Yeah.
Long.
Oh,
I don't even think C4 is that way.
I don't think buildings were necessary at all for the
Yeah.
prelims. Yeah.
I was
I don't
Maybe the
even.
battlefields.
Other than not running out of portals, I don't even pay attention to them.
Yeah, definitely. I think no one ran out of orders in the prelims round because it get refreshed in like 1 hour, and everyone had like at least 50 or 60 every time. So we didn't set even once yesterday for portals, just for the mines, and even the mines were glitchy. So you get in the mine, you get the buff, so your buffs get activated after like 3 minutes or something,
Oh, for
and
the
suddenly if you're selecting personal heal, you get personal heal in like 4 or 5 minutes later on when you receive the mine. And we got like 4 out of 5 times for the mine, and there was no team heal at all. I don't know why.
Yeah, we didn't have any either. I think on buildings, like obviously I see them a lot when I play C1 where you're trying to port lock the other team. When it's big team versus big team, you get them down and you stack the portals. I don't like all stars. I don't think that's a thing. I've not seen
Yeah.
it.
Challenge in All Stars is all about offense and defense. No real buildings.
Totally, and I think the arenas were like working or sometimes not working at all. For example, we rallied a key. I think he was like 44B and 73 million rings. So in first report, we just damaged him like 7B or something. And in the second report, it was like 3B, but he had 73 million rings in the second one. Although he got the rings when we set on him. So I think the rings were glitching as well yesterday.
What continent do you play on, Saint?
Sorry.
What continent do you play on?
Yeah, I'm on C1.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I got to jump. Pasta to eat, and I'll see you later.
Later. Have fun, Whoop.
Bye.
All right, later. Bye.
Anya's asking how your reports looked on C1.
Yeah, I'm gonna share a few. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Wrong. Yeah. Scores were a little higher in C1. Looking at them.
Yeah, I think all the C1 matchups were high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
3 million or something in the scores, and the next alliance, like the next teams, were at least 2.5 or 2.4 million in
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Everyone feel like crazy.
I
Mm.
expected points to be up because of the fact that, we had the K45 and more people have pushed in keep level and have pushed more power lately. But
Uh-huh.
Oh,
it seemed like C5, some of the teams almost doubled the score from last season.
yeah. I mean, and all of them in general. I mean, this is the first one where you have a lot of the mature wall dragons, so everybody got 20% once they were down. So you get, you factor that in, and after this one, it'll be higher.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're gonna have a massive number of keeps that have a dragon heal. So, figure that's 20, 15, 20% of the points that are out there because you can get dragon heals, but certainly that's going to impact it. Is that the advice you're giving to people playing? Like, hey, what dragon should I take? That always used to be the big question. And at least I told mine, anybody that doesn't have the wall, you no matter what, you take the wall. Why wouldn't you take free heals?
Yeah, I think not in a single reports I can see T16 performing any good. So I feel like they just give out a lot of power. Mm,
Elder Dragon? I don't know. I guess it'll depend on if they come up with a way that people can just coin to it versus really making people play 3 All Stars. That's a lot. It's a long game. I mean, the reality is the things I don't like when they do this, and this is a perfect example when they give, and I'm banging on my own keep when they make it so only heavy coiners are going to get the advantage. So, every K45 moon walks into finals, right? And generally speaking, even if you're in the last place team, you're still going to be in the top 50 spots. So, for all intents and purposes, the first 50 Elder Dragons are going to be all K45s that were the first ones there, this All Stars, and you can moonwalk into it. And I'm not a fan of that. So, even though it's not a coining thing, it really is. I don't like that.
I kind of expected it to where after we get through these first three round or first three seasons where people get the Elder Dragons, they're gonna release something where you can buy it, just like they did the coins.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would have done like, I'm making this up, like maybe you get like maybe there's dragon books, right? Skill books on dragons, something like that, where you can change the attributes of a single dragon, something like that. Maybe you get a little quicker, and maybe there's offensive versus defensive, and then there's a variety versus just one dragon that's going to smack way harder and disadvantages anybody that's not 5,000 buffs.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm nervous on 6,000 buffs. What that will do to the game.
yeah. I was joking a couple months ago about being able to ascend a dragon, and then the Elder Dragon dropped literally like a week later.
I am happy they
Yeah.
didn't do it. I am happy they didn't do another dragon.
Can you hear me,
What are you
guys?
Yes.
I
Yeah, we can
can.
hear you, Oz.
What are you guys
Yes.
talking
How
about?
are you doing, guys?
We were talking about how stunningly handsome you are.
Oh, thank you.
We were talking
I,
about Elder
I needed
Dragon.
that. I absolutely needed to hear that.
Elder Dragon, that was the combo at the moment. What our thoughts are on it.
Oh, the Elder Dragon. I think it's basically for like whales at this point.
Yeah.
Like the first few people that are gonna get it are gonna be whales that play the three All Stars. Like
Yeah.
maybe one or two other people can sneak in C5, C6, but in any of the older continents, you're not gonna get like anybody that's not a whale is not gonna get Elder, not initially. It's just how it's designed.
Mm.
But it's a pretty cool dragon. Do you think as they will release it, like let's say you can just upgrade into level 10 maybe?
No, I don't think so. I think
I think
they're gonna
The
make
thing,
us play.
I
when
think
they
they
do
would add
that,
it to challenge.
I was thinking that
yeah,
dragon's going to be even harder to get to level 10 than even an all-star dragon.
yeah, but it's gonna take a lot of time just to
So
unlock him.
the only thing that I think they might do is probably like if you have dragon eggs in
Uh
your
huh.
inventory, they might let you convert that into like a laydon and then say use three laydons to just unlock it, or something like that.
Hmm.
Like they'll just let you use those dragon eggs.
Yeah, or maybe they will put that item on the All Star shop. Could be also that, so you can use some dragon
Uh,
coins.
yeah, 100%. It'll 100% go there. Like, but indirectly, I don't think they'll do it direct.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
thought
next
the I
season.
thought I thought the eggs expired, so you couldn't sit on them anyway.
No, I've got three
Mm,
eggs.
yep.
I think I've only got two. I converted one. I still have two eggs in my inventory.
Based based on what I saw, you didn't have that much lag as yesterday. I mean, of
No,
course, yeah, but not like main issue I had yesterday's setting was when you set the rally, then that little icon which changes to an eye icon. With the new update.
No excuses for that.
I don't know, bro. Like we were lagging. Like it was super bad, but I think it was super bad for everyone. So it was like level
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
field.
But the problem I had, like the eye icon, with the new update, when you click and it pops up in the
Yeah,
bottom, like
it
I
wasn't
never
there
had that.
yesterday. Yes, it wasn't there yesterday.
So I had to scroll through Alliance War, and sometimes even my rally got hidden or went away totally.
Yeah, I was talking about it at the beginning of the call. We had a deal on C6 where, at least on my team, where the arch rallies wouldn't show up in chat, but the
Yeah,
any others like a siege, a crown, cav got set, you could join straight from chat. So it kind of threw
yeah,
me
that's,
off in the beginning until I got used to it.
Have we shared some funky reports?
Have we?
what?
No,
Have we shared some funky
no.
reports? Like, what is the biggest clear you guys got?
I think I started with a 20B clear.
Oh
Oh
wow.
wow, lucky you.
Yeah, nothing that I didn't get anything that big. Maybe 12, 14. I saw
Uh,
lots, but I didn't have any.
I got a
let me check.
24. I got a 24 and a 20 bell back to back.
Ah, you're lucky. No, who is lucky?
I think the biggest on for our team on C6 was a 10 bill we hit and cleared.
Let me try to find it.
Uh,
Yep, this was 1 minute in 90B. I'm sending with timestamp though.
and I think the other thing that was like, I don't know, I've joined late, so I don't know what has been talked about, what has not been talked about. But like, uh, defense was just next level with Reigns.
Oh,
Like, if
yeah.
you reigned somebody, it didn't matter what kind of rally you had.
Yeah.
The one thing we were kind of kicking around is it seemed there was like a magic line, a little bit of different for everybody, but like what I saw is 20 million and under reens, so you could still cut through them pretty easily. But if you crossed over 30, it was a wall. It was hard.
Yeah, I kind of think you're right. Any keep which had like less than 30, 35 was getting fucked. And
Yeah.
any keep that was having more than less than 30, it was like, I don't know, it was going very well for us as well. Especially even if you're raining ground with range rally on them, the range is still going to pierce through for some reason.
Um, what was the biggest keep you had with Reens? Us that you had?
I think Kingster, 70 mil, the first five
Uh,
minutes.
no, the keep which you had, which has the highest amount of Reens. Did you check that? You had any
Yeah,
like with a big number?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kingster had 70
Ah,
million.
Kingster. Oh no.
We hit Sailor with 73.6.
I'll
Yeah.
scroll. I'll find.
I
I
had
think that was
stuff
the
as with
highest.
63 though.
What the fuck?
Mm,
Did he go positive?
Nah, I can share the report. Tell Al to go positive, bro.
Oh, we got Dirk a couple times. We got Dirk twice.
But the biggest one I saw was, I think, Karu. He shared yesterday somewhere. Any other big report?
I'm looking for some.
I'm
Yeah.
scrolling. I'm scrolling. I'm trying to find. It's like similar type kind of keeps. Everybody was raining hard though. That was the toughest part.
Yeah.
Once people figured out, they were just raining crazy.
Here's
And
here. I got one. I got to get the name off it here.
I think these were good hits. Yeah. See, what was that? Saint on Sailor. No Reen.
Yeah. Yeah, the two reports are like 2 seconds apart. Like one is at point 18 marks and one is at point 20. I don't know how it just happened. One was solo, one went as solo in the rally. The second one was I think acted without range for some reason. Got hit pretty bad in there.
The game was like, you cleared his reins.
Yeah, there's something up with reinforcements.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone on our team got hit, and then he got two reports. He got one where the rally didn't do anything because he had like 50 mil reins, and the second report he got smacked because all the reins were gone. It was
Yeah,
just one rally. We saw one line come at him. We didn't see the second line.
yeah. Reens have been broken for 6 months. They're not willing to fix it. I've sent video. I've sent everything. They're screwed up, and double reports happen all the time. I don't know if the points are double, but the reports are double.
It could affect points. Definitely could affect points. Sorry.
Bless
Uh, Trying to find some good reports. They were all okay. Like once people got rain, they were kind of all okay. It's like
Yeah, I
nothing
mostly
happened.
had two taps to be honest. One taps I didn't have very good ones.
We got the same guy three times so far, and others we didn't.
So
Yeah.
earlier we talked also about next round. We noticed this round was kind of up in points. Do you think next round will be more people trying to save heals and move on to finals, or how do you guys see that?
Nah, bruh. Nah, nah. Like b- my team ran out of juice.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason we were like one for almost 100 minutes, and in the last 20 minutes we just lost. Like we stopped gaining any points except for port swaps or whatever. Uh, and that was purely because our team ran out of steam. People like there were two people that were like they ran out of gems, bro.
Oh wow.
So uh, I don't think a whole lot of people are gonna be able to heal in semis.
The keep I
And you
played.
look at the scores, like last All Stars, the scores were all like 1.5 to 2 million, at
Mm-hmm.
least in C1, and like all of them were close to 3 mil,
Yeah.
like in all brackets. That's a 50% increase.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. So, and that just boils down to healing. So it doesn't matter how many subs you've been doing the past couple months, coming out of Shalons and playing All Stars. I don't think people are gonna have the gas, like the healing speed.
Yeah, it feels like ever since they introduced the um, subs to challenge, more people are pushing challenge hard. So, with All Stars having no gap between the challenge season and then All Star qualifying, a lot of people are going in and using their heals just to get to All Stars, and then they're getting here and oh, I'm out of heals, first half hour, just in that first
100%.
round.
Yeah, it's painful. I don't even know why people like. There was someone, I think someone on my team said they used more than 20 mil.
Oh
Pretty
wow.
sure they said more than 20 mil. I'll need someone else from my team to like jump in and say something.
Like 20,000 days. How many? 20
No, no, 20
million
million gems. Like they used
Oh,
all the
Jesus.
speed ups that they had,
Plus
and then they
gems. Holy
used
shit.
20,
Oh,
20 mil gems on top.
good Lord.
The healing was crazy. Like we smacked a keep that was 22 bill, 23, the one I shared. We zeroed the same keep at least 4 times. At least 4 times.
Teddy in chat said
Yeah.
he used 77 million minutes.
Holy shit.
I think
Yeah, there you
I
go.
there was lots and lots of people over 100,000 days. Lots.
The Keep Eiffel 4, I was lucky. I think I used roughly 6,000 days.
Yeah, but that keep it was
Oh, yeah.
it's way too ahead for C6.
Yes.
I even use more than that, and I think as a piece of the scores are also the sheer number of wall dragons that are out there. So figure that's 20% more troops on every single keep
Mm.
that has the wall
Oh
dragon.
yeah.
You get a few, so maybe half of that score. So if it was a 2 million, now it's 2.5. I'm making this up. Half of that is probably wall dragon. So it makes an impact, and it'll be worse in the next one because now you're going to have what, another third of the people that didn't have them before that made it got them, something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. More and more people are gonna get it. That's true.
So I think you're going to. It would not surprise me next All Stars if the common score is more like 3. Would not surprise me.
Yeah,
That'll be crazy.
we try and suggest for the new guys going in to use Arabias for their subs, for their healing.
What?
And then once they get the wall dragon, they can
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
swap
Just
out.
free heal.
Mm.
What? Who uses Arabia in All Stars, bro? What?
Hey, a couple
I
Arabias
mean,
make a difference.
I get.
they
I get.
do, but like who uses it in All Stars? I've never seen someone actually do it.
For healing,
Yeah, like I've seen people talk about I'm gonna replace my Japan with like Arabia, but I've never actually seen them do it.
if you take 2 or 3 in, yeah, it will change your healing.
But are you talking like? Is this kind of like switching out to Europe for the build that saves you like 500 days? I would never do it. I don't. I
Mm.
don't know. I don't know what the real savings would be. Swapping from 0 Arabias to 5. Are we talking like 1,500 days? I don't know why you do that. People overestimate those percentages. Just like I said before, it might be a couple percent faster max. I don't know.
Well, for the new guy, I mean, just trying to get to that out of that first round just to get their
Yeah.
dragon, and then they can get the wall dragon, and you know, once you're past that,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be like maybe I don't know. I'll have to look at Arabia. How much does it offer? 25, 30?
Yeah. 25.
yeah,
25. That might be real saving though. If you're gonna use 100K days, that's 25K days saved.
right. So, and you figure you stack 2 of those.
But that's.
Uh
But it's not 25 from 100K. That's not the way the stacking would work. I don't think it's like a total of 25%. Remember, your healing's already. I'm going to go in my keep and look.
oh yeah, it's gonna go 25% on top of whatever healing speed you've already
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
25% heal. It's 25% of your 25% more healing speed, which you might be like 2,000%. So it's 2,025. I mean,
yeah, yeah, gotcha. I know what you mean.
I'm trying to figure out where the hell that is. Where's healing speed?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it as well.
Healing speed.
It should be in administration. Down.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Yeah, capacity
Healing
equal
costs minus
four.
90%.
Okay, minus
Heal,
500%.
Yeah, 508.
504.
So even if you went to 10 of them, you'd go from 500% to 600%. So that's what,
Yeah,
8% faster. So out of 100,000, you're going to only be 92.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's not significant.
yeah, I see your guys' point.
Yeah.
The tricks of ebony math and the percentages that everyone thinks are so great. I mean, they are, but you got to have so many.
Yeah, but then you also get the extra like the T1 to T7, you get extra healing speed if you do the research. So the standard, like yeah, it makes no difference. That's what I thought.
Mm.
Nah, Arabia is useless. because you get like 500 plus the 70 from Academy. That's
Yeah.
570. Then the Civ Treasure, I think, adds another 60. It's puts you at 600%. And then you get another 25 on that. It's probably like 4K days if you spend 100K. And that's you're giving up 10 to 15%, maybe 35% buffs.
Yeah. Small.
You guys are forgetting the free to play players. This is a lot of savings for them.
If you're spending 100K, I don't know,
No, no,
bro.
no,
I'd
no, not
rather,
anything. Free to play. Free to play. Any
yeah, but
speed that they have gained from Cerberuses and anything, if they can sneak into prelims and they can save a little bit on because their buffs are not going to be high, so it doesn't make a difference. They're going to end up healing anyway. They're the ones that heal March and join rallies. It's something for them. You mega coiners, you don't understand our free to play problems.
sure, sure.
Hog's the one who is VIP 21.
Who?
What? Hitman. Who else?
Yeah. No, no, I'm not 21. I'm
Yeah,
barely
it's
20.
not.
Yeah, but I don't know, bro. You like if you have two Russias or two Japans, not Russias. Let's say you've got two gold Japans. Would you want to save maybe 2.5K days, and if you're gonna spend 100K, let's just say 100K, because that is the
I don't
benchmark. This all
think
starts.
I don't think 100k is what these guys are saving. This is a keep that has 2500 attack, VIP probably 16, 17. Mostly grinding Cerberuses, and they know they're gonna heal. This is
Yeah,
the
but
like.
then yeah, but then that keep isn't going next round, is it?
It's still trying. They're still trying.
Yeah, it is, but I'm just saying, like
Yeah, yeah.
if your buffs are low, then then your answer is, do I have enough speed to out heal to score,
No.
right? Like it basically boils down to points. Can you heal marches and join? Like not defenses. And then if
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
you're saying if
always.
All Stars is not for grinders.
it's
I
not
agree.
anymore.
I
No,
It's
I
no.
not
agree.
anymore.
But they try.
Like I'm
I
just
agree.
being real. Like the game has shifted so much towards pay to win right now that like it's not for people that are not coining. It's like I don't know, bro. Climbing Everest is fucking easier than this.
Well,
You hear that, Kara?
Yeah, but the only thing how they can make it
You're not
is
coining,
if
right?
they are. Yeah, no, no, I agree totally.
But you're not coining, right?
No, lost two events, three events. I'm on coining strike.
Sorry, bro. The game is not for you anymore.
Nah, nah.
so I
It has
look
like,
at it
bro, look at everything that has come out. Like the Senate, the whole shit, like that entire fucking stack is pay to win. Senate seals, that whole fucking shit, the amount of buffs you can gain, all of that is pay to win. Art treasure got raised. That all of that is pay to win. Civ treasure, that's like almost 100, 200, 250% buff. All of that is pay to win. Military academy, like 6 to 8 is probably okayish. 9 and 10, fucking 500K tactics rolls. I don't know how you're grinding that shit.
Way more than 500k.
Between the last two, like
Yeah,
280K
yeah.
and 320K, so 600K. Like, how is any of that like grindable? It's just not. Even with and if you're free to play, you cannot be rallying every fucking sub on the map. Even with Nath Green and Spartacus, you're not joining every rally, bro. Because you're gonna get RSS and other shit too. So the game has just shifted massively, massively in favor of coiners. And if you don't have a minimum spend, then it's like even getting to all stars is gonna be next to impossible. I'm just
Yet
saying how it
somehow
is.
I see this 700 mil keep. Its name is Lacoste. It's every time in All Stars. Last three All Stars, I'm noticing the 700 mil keep every time it shows up,
Yeah,
what?
but
and
that's
it's always
good.
700 mil. I don't know
Yeah,
how it
that's
does
good.
it.
Yeah, he's figured out. He's probably figured out a strategy. We like he may want to share it. He may not want to share it. We had a 2.6 bill in C1. like in my team,
That
and the guy literally said, "Don't worry about me. I'll go take whatever fucking portal I can. I'll just have fun for 2 hours. I don't care. I know I'm not going ahead." So some people will get there, but does not necessarily mean you're gonna get the rewards from all stars. Like unless
Mm-hmm.
you turn around and go, that 700 mil actually made two finals, and he has a castle decoration, and he has
yeah.
fucking
No, but
Glidon and
think,
all that shit. Then we
but
should
think
all get him
three
here.
rounds. But I think it was a her. But think 3 rounds, and that's a laden. 3 all stars, right? That's 50 coins.
Yeah,
50 coins
it
at
is.
laden on a 700 mil keep. That guy, that girl is grinding good. I don't know how she's doing it.
Yeah. I agree. But I was just saying, like, if she makes it to semis with the, then like we should get her here talking to everybody and telling us all how she's doing it.
Right.
Like mad respect. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying like you can get there, but like going to next round, it's just it's so biased right now. I don't like it. Not one bit.
I agree.
I agree. I agree. It's very coining favored.
See, it feels like challenge
I
has
mean,
shifted more
even
towards the
coiners with
gameplay.
high VIP are not making semis. That's the problem. I think
Are we talking
in
about
this
that?
round, bro, I had a VIP 25. Probably, I'm not sure how much was his power, 30, 40B, and he still didn't make it to semis, even though we won the round. That's the worst part.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was kind of surprised, but I don't
I
know.
saw I saw a ton of people, bro. Like there's some really good players that I know,
Uh huh.
in C1 at least, that didn't make it. Even in C2, that's like a really good PvP player. Uh, didn't make it.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to take pot shots at people. I'm just like the people that I know that are super good, actually are good at the game. They're fast, and they just did not make it. It was
Well,
surprising.
there's glitches. There's teams. If their team came last and they had, I can tell you, last prelims, I was in team with Aaron and Siegfried in the same team. Prelims, right? On paper, we
Mhm.
were favored because they were like, oh, they have good players, they have top keeps. We came dead last. we
Yeah,
we
the
I
the
didn't even
same
make it.
happened to us, bro. Like
I
my
didn't even make
team
it.
my team was like my team was favorite on the paper. It was the strongest. We led the battle for 100 minutes, and that would have meant like 20 people go through. And in the last 20 minutes, it just fucking flipped. It just flipped. Like we finished fourth by like a difference of I think 30 points or 40 points or
Oh,
400 points. Like super small difference, and we were fourth, not even second or third. It was just weird. And then that meant 10 people from my own team didn't go through. I was
yeah, it was.
crying.
I didn't even make it because couldn't join the rallies, couldn't take, like, nothing was working, right? And the
Wait, what?
reason we were dead last was there was. Uh, I think you remember this. I personally messaged you asking about this player. Do you know? That player kept
Uh,
healing and kept healing and taking rallies, like 30 will keep dying in 1 or 2 taps and just keep healing. And I'm like, oh my God, at least step away or ask for bad buffs. I was so pissed.
yeah, I remember that conversation. It is what it is, though.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why I think that now my motto is if you know any squishy keeps that will heal over and over again and will not ask for reams, please let me know when I'm setting. We'll go for them. And people generally know these 40 build keeps that have super bad defense and they will, out of pride, heal and heal.
Or I think this is not cause of pride because maybe they are missing one of the AS dragons and they want it desperately, so they heal more than the big kips because obviously the big keeps with good power are not going to be rallied that much. So I think they kind
The
of take
healing
the
is not the problem.
back.
No, no, healing is not the problem. The problem is that they are unaware of how bad their defense is,
Oh
and they
yeah.
don't ask for reins. They don't ask for reins. If they take reins, they will tank. At least not give away so many points.
But
They don't
who
ask
will
for
hit
reins.
them? Who will hit them? That's the problem.
I
People
think
don't ask for ins because they don't want to not getting hit. So people are used to get hit and heal.
I think there's also a factor that those keeps are usually on bad regular teams, and they never win
Mhm.
or never use their heals, and they have 400,000 days, and they don't give a shit.
And I think someone also not aware about how 90 or 80 million rallies does on their keep. Like I had some people who didn't have any kind of defenses on rallies at all because they don't get faced by that much. Some were like island players, so they were like, okay, yeah, my keep is good in defenses, but I don't have any kind of reports with me because I don't get rallied that much. So they find out suddenly at that time, maybe.
No, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I these two major factors is they're genuinely unaware of how what their defense should be at. I don't know if Oz, if you remember the player that I'm talking about. This player
Hey,
posted their
stop
defense props, and they
picking.
were like,
Yeah,
"Great,"
I know. I know.
and
I know.
I
Let's stop
tanked.
picking on somebody.
No, no, I never mentioned any name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's
this
what I'm
player was
Give
like
saying.
give us
Don't
the
give
name.
him.
nineteen.
Why the hell you bring up this and you don't give the name? Either give the
No,
name
no,
or
no,
That's
no,
why.
don't
no,
talk
no,
about
no, no,
this.
no,
That
no, no,
I've
no, no, no,
I've
no, no,
been
no. Cut it
told.
right now.
You both of you
I've
are
been told.
bitches.
Wait.
Listen,
That's
listen. I've
fine.
been told. Let me say this. I've been told that player was Oz's prodigy, so I'm not gonna say the name. It's up to Oz.
Okay, okay, guys.
But
Ah,
I think the other factor is I look for players with other languages, so I'm assuming that there's a language barrier, and they were not gonna ask for reins.
Yeah, I do the same.
Oh well, let's bring people on the stage. Let's get somebody else's perspective. It's been a lot of preach,
X-Wing Pilot is saying his defense is awful. Maybe he can show us why
bro.
people take.
X-wing is dying. Sammy's like, I'm killing him next round. He's in my bracket.
Leave
I'm gonna
Yeah,
X-Wing
he
start.
said
alone.
I'm gonna
that
start.
You
I'm
he's
did
gonna
hit
awful.
start
him
with a
enough in
cab.
challenge, Viper. Yeah,
No,
us.
I'm gonna start with a cab, bro. I made the mistake of sending siege and challenge, and he's like, rally me. I'll keep healing. You don't have speed ups, bro. We tried that in Shalons. We know exactly how much you have. Anybody from like C2 or C3 that wants to come up, or C4, C5, C6?
I'm C3, but this was my first time setting for C4.
Yeah, I know you played C4. That was good. C7. Nobody wants to come on stage and talk about how your gameplay was? Well, come on.
What do you
You've
want?
been pretty
I,
fun.
I I would
I'm
like to
trying to get.
invite Khalid, but I don't know how to invite him. I don't know if he wants to speak because he
No,
was
you're
fully
not.
mad yesterday.
Illicit played C6. He talked about C6. We got Kara, Viper C2. We got Dubs, Hitman C4.
Viper did C5
Same.
with Woke.
Oh, he did C5. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only one was C3.
C3. Is anybody here from C3?
Oh,
Do I count?
basically,
Well,
Do I
you
count?
didn't
me,
play
Saint,
C3.
and
No. Who
Just a
played
second.
C3 yesterday?
Yeah.
Do we have Siegfried? No, it is not there.
Enoch.
Yeah, I don't see
Oz,
him.
you're
do
being
we have
mean. I'm gonna
Remy
tell
though?
you.
Because Remy won against Zig and Aaron both with a key 44.
Oh, yeah, he
There was,
did.
We need
there was
Remy
some
here.
there was some big keeps that did not make in C3, like really big keeps, 45s even.
Bro, C1 was
So
C1
there
was
was
the
some
same. Give us a big name. Who
Yeah,
didn't make
45
it?
that didn't make it. I want to see that.
IPP has strong buffs.
Ape 1331.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
IPP
IPP.
Oh yeah, he's
331.
from.
I think it did not make it.
All
I
right.
remember seeing that name not making it, and then Hef is a 45, 60 some plus bill. I mean, even
Oh,
just joining
did
values
baby
are
play C3?
Uh,
what?
Enoch here was on C3.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, guys?
There we go. Hey, bro. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. I mean, I've been in All Stars. I don't know, it was like 7 seasons now in a row. I think yesterday it was like the frames per second just weren't going. Every time I moved left or right, it was just slow. I was on Hypo's team, filled by Andreas Lives. Also, Hodler was filled by Cobble Hill, who hasn't played in a while, and Mitch had a filler that was from Asia. So it was like literally my whole top team was just other people. Um, Hypo couldn't set the first 20 minutes. Discord didn't even work, so we couldn't hear him. And then just, listen, it's not the same thing as having T-Biz or having a person who does it more often. So it was a little slow to catch up, but eventually, I mean, there's nothing you could do. I'm 37 bill. I could tank good defenses. I'm 3700 siege attack, 3200 defense HP. I could debuff siege above 1,000. I got flats and all. So I just have to sit like I guess 15 kilometers outside the hive, like I look like an idiot, just waiting for somebody to rally me. And yeah, rains definitely helped. I find it really annoying that rains don't settle. And you're always wondering, are they in or are they not in? But yeah, I just, I'm a
Já você
several.
trocou o negócio, Sara. Puta merda, Sara.
What?
Who was that?
The fuck?
I'll
That's
tell you that
Ziggy, bro.
much.
Interesting. If you go look at those C3, look at the one that IP's in. He had 100,000 points. He was the biggest keep on his team, and he didn't make it. And his team finished third.
Yeah.
That's
For
crazy.
me, listen, you
That
just have
is
to
just
enjoy it at a certain
crazy.
power.
Crazy.
Like, are you
That
going
is-
to win or get second, or are you just going to take defenses? And there were a lot of point traders on my team. It is what it is, I guess.
It looks like he had some guys behind him in power that either healed like mad or something happened and he couldn't join.
Yes, they
That's
heal
what
like mad, and Siegfried is here. He can talk about it. I think he probably knows what's happened.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I don't know if you guys know, but Material from Sardine server is also Enso. So the guy was second or third in power on my team, and he was also 60 bill on another team. The last 30 minutes, the guy rallied himself and soloed himself endlessly.
Oh my God! So you got to be kidding me.
I'm not joking.
Man, did he come from C1? That sounds like a
No,
C1.
That Enzo only has 16K score, so there's nothing that happened to Enzo unless we're saying he took off the wall gen and took all the points solo, which also
Well-
they chop the points if you take same from the same keep unless it's a rally. So it's very hard to say that he rallied his own
I
keep.
was
That
reinforced.
he
Well,
doesn't have
it,
points.
it wasn't. It wasn't really. So I just want to point out as well that. Well, it also have it's worth to point out that even if he's like soloing or rallying his same keep like over and over and over, you guys have to remember that and when he did implement a control to reduce the points or exponentially every time he did it, he would lose points. So that's one thing. So one single player doing that is kind of sketchy, but there's still mechanisms to avoid that. The issue I still see is like, and this is me throwing this publicly, and it's gonna be very bad.
Oh shit!
Go for
Oh shit! Here we go.
The issue I see is like, so yesterday I was playing, right, like all of us, and one of my friends was actually feeling for one of the keeps, and he said, "Hey man, just so you know, they are plotting against you," and it's all in whisper. So basically, every fucking time people go against EBK or any EBK player, they manipulate the scores and give the points to whoever they want to do. It's
They did that shit to Karu in C3 one finals. I mean, they just tag team people.
Yeah, it's every single time. Like EBK has those fat keeps, and every time they want to manipulate the scores, they give the win to whoever they want to win. 100%.
Oh yeah.
So
EBK is IPP? No, that's small PP.
it's IPP. Yeah, it's IPP. Is that other
Not.
guy that renames his keep with what's his name, man? Not play for fun,
Oh,
play for whatever.
no, no.
It was yesterday was
That's
yesterday was
epic. That's cool.
yeah. There's
That
also like VVVV easy to burn, whatever
how
they
was
call them.
how was the lag? How was the lag? How was the lag in
I have a
C3?
question about the lag, actually, if anybody can answer it for me. Did anybody
Sure.
realize that, like, just because there was so much lag, that when you click on something, it doesn't register? And I feel like I have to hit the phone really hard for it to register, or sometimes it's like I'm on to where I should click next, but I didn't even get the first click done. And I've had a couple of times where instead of actually clicking a preset, I just send a cav general with all 15s, and I have to recall it.
Bro, I had 12 marches out yesterday at some point, and I closed the game like 10 times, and the 12 marches were still hanging. I'm like, I don't have this many generals with marches out, so it was yesterday. I
I
think
had
it
the
was one
same
of the worst.
thing.
Joining rallies is better to join slower. Like, what's the rush, honestly?
I think
You're
that
gonna do
clickability
something
issue.
wrong.
I think that
I think
clickability issue is there because I had the same issue like for the march speed. If you're trying to speed, I had to click like at least 50, 60 times for just one march. So you're kind of right. Like the clicks are not getting registered when we are doing that on the screen.
and there's also there's definitely that the march speed is not registering. Like, so if you speed up, it's not registering because it like I would see people coming in like 40 seconds still away, but the lines were fast, right? The other thing was definitely the time that the rally was taking to settle took a long time. And
Yeah.
one thing that was particularly annoying for me, I don't know for you guys, the rally was taking a long time to settle on my end. Someone else would say, "Hey, it settled on mine." So I was like, "Okay, so I'm gonna send it," and I was alone. Like it
Yeah.
had to settle on my end, and it never did. Plus, I don't know if you guys had the same issue, but the reinforcements were not taking as long to settle as the rallies. So it could be like it would take 3 minutes for a rally to settle, and then when you sent, it would be alone against like 80 million ranks, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I had a
I
unique.
was ready to port into other people's rallies just to get some hits. You know when your team starts doing bad and you're like, why did I dodge that first rally, like the first 20 minutes in? Now nobody wants to look at me. That's the
I mean,
worst.
that's kind of a strategy right now, right? Like one of the things that I noticed, like, and this is the third time that happens to me. Like every time I go against Remy, his strategy is to not touch my team at all. He doesn't touch us. He literally
Yeah.
doesn't attack us.
So
Yeah.
So like,
you guys from C3, do you have any reports?
Yeah, I got a bunch.
yeah.
Can we share some in chat?
Post some in the chat.
Some of them are from my team, so I don't know if I want to send them. You want to see what, like, my defense, or
The,
you want to see people dying?
Yeah,
just
just
whatever,
What
both.
point
like the
drop?
best
Yeah, I was
reports,
off.
buffs, whatever. Like, what's the highest buff that we saw?
I got hit with
Uh,
5,000 cav and 4,900 siege.
Yeah, this one was This one
They
was
were both
40. I think this one was 49.87 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
biggest
you port
grievance with
swapped.
setters and all star, especially the ones that are less quick
Why
and
would
good
you
at
port
what they
swap a
do.
cab? Be a real man. Port swap a
Yeah, that's
siege,
fun.
bro.
Oh, they're talking to me. You really think I didn't?
Yeah,
I
show me
really,
a port swap of siege.
I can. I'm looking for it. You asked for high buffs, so I'm posting the highest buff that was hit yesterday.
Oh, did
This,
D-Bones have like 5k cabs?
yeah, he had 5K cabs. Um, the other thing as well, dude, and I do want to point that out as well. I was port swapping less yesterday because one of the things that happened last time, you kind of discourage people from hitting you when you're port swapping that much, and people just like shy away from hitting you. So
Yeah,
I sort
that,
of avoided that yesterday.
that's what happened to us. Like, I port swapped 6 back-to-back rallies on base, and then everybody stopped hitting us. Like, there's literally zero rallies on anybody in our team, and none of us had the troops to actually attack.
You have to
I
find those
felt
guys
so
that are
fucking
hiding.
dumb after that.
You have to find the guys that are hiding outside of the hive, and you know that they're going to get ground rally, and then port into that.
I had noted doing it all the time, port swapping, so I just kept doing rallies and people would still come after us.
And not for us. Like every time again, every time I port shop, they
I
would
loaded
just
code real
immediately
quick.
not do.
These images are small though. Hold on.
I'm looking for the siege, Jaws. There's an archer here, and I was power reduced. I'm screenshotting that one. Maybe you like that. Archer.
No rain. Because the
Uh,
rains didn't settle.
Oh, 58. Oh, is that Big T? Is that the Val Big T?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the report. Okay, he shared.
I actually didn't get any siege yesterday, else.
See, told you. You don't port stuff into siege.
I do, yeah, I do. I actually do.
What was
Well,
the biggest hit you guys saw on C3?
21 bill.
Yeah, I saw 20.
20. So did I get the biggest clear across 5 continents? Fuck, I'm
You
gonna
might,
walk away with something.
you might have.
Yeah, could be.
There we go. Nice. I can sleep well now.
What continent are you
Mm.
counting?
Had a 40 bill K44 port swap into a ground rally and lose 9 bill.
Oh, those were painful. We had a couple too. We landed like
What
we
the
got two
fuck?
stabbed on.
The second I saw that, I'm like, let's just fucking find him again.
Is that one? Is that one that you said that you sent a cabs? Like I had a cab cleared that big maybe.
Um, yeah, I think so. You're saying the 20 bill?
Yeah.
I think it was Cav. I don't know, just Cav everybody, man. Cavs are strong. And from what I'm seeing, everybody's doing really terribly debuffing HP. Nobody wants to put the Imperial Swords on. I like Cav a lot, man, because you clear out the top end of the ground and all that other stuff. Like, even if you don't kill the T1, like, you cripple people from even joining it. And
Did we
nobody
lose
sends
that
the
audio?
first unless you call for it.
Oz, is that true? You guys did zero planning up to start of All Stars?
No, we had like I did share stuff. I shared how like our own Discord was set up on that prep call and all that stuff. We would do, like we did a check-in, we did polls, we made notes. I'll post some screenshots. We had plenty. We jumped on a call like 45 minutes ahead of time. Uh, we had a channel called Squishy Files, which is basically like identifying people you're gonna target and all that stuff ahead of time. So we did a lot of prep work.
Okay. Jake's saying his team finished third due to lack of planning and voice calling before All Stars.
I think that's a valid reason, maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Because
It just depends, bro. Like, our team was super chill. People were there. They were all excited. They were all talkative. I think we had like one person that joined in a day before the actual game, but outside that, we had 23 of them in.
Nice.
I think you need the top 7, 8 keeps to be good players, enthusiastic. I had a
Yeah.
K45 in my team that was there, but not actually participating actively. And I'm looking at the reports. He's in most rallies, he's in some reens, but his score is not where it should be, being a K45 and the buffs he had. And that's a big disadvantage because that keep can pull its weight plus more, but it's not. So when I set up a call with the team and I instantly recognize what are my odds, because if the top 7, 8 players are not active, if 2 or 3 are missing, that's already a disadvantage for the team.
Yeah. The energy level definitely matters. The more energy and enthusiasm you have in the team, like laterally spread in more people, the better your chances of winning because you know everybody's gonna give it their heart
Mm-hmm.
on the day.
Yeah.
They're gonna go all out, try hard.
It's usually the 12 to 17 ranks that are very excited,
Yeah,
but they
true.
unfortunately get you first. It's the big keeps, and is another trend, and I'm probably participating in it. Another trend is that people don't play their keeps in prelims. the bigger keeps. They
Yeah.
generally know it will go forward.
So do you guys on the older continents find it's harder to get people enthusiastic?
It depends, bro. That's like a lot of RSP is new. A lot of GOT is new.
Mm.
A couple in NAF are new. So that's like there's not really a lot of people that have been playing for 6, 8, or 7 years. So the enthusiasm level is different, and all of these teams send a ton of people in. So it depends. Even Waggy's been playing for what, almost a decade now, maybe longer. Like how long Ebony's been out. That man's existed. So he was pretty pumped. So it just depends. I think it's just an emotional thing. I think people just go through an up and down thing.
Mm-hmm. And then Jake asks, line versus Discord, what do you prefer?
Bro, my next round is actually I think a line group.
Hmm.
I have a Discord, but people are pushing for a line group because we've got like Koreans and Vietnamese that don't know how to use Discord.
Can't mute people.
So
Mine's garbage.
it is like I'm just waiting for one of those all stars when right before the game somebody kicks out the whole team from the chat. Uh,
But yeah, we
it'll
have been
happen.
going. We've been going 2.5 hours, so
Yeah, I think it's 1:30. I gotta head to bed too.
okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
having
next
me
week,
on.
everyone.
Yep.
Take it easy, guys.